Nowadays, almost every website, they do provide dark as well as light version of color theme. So in this video, I'll show you how can you add different color modes for your website. And don't skip any part of this video because I'm gonna give you 5 different techniques, their benefits and negative sides. Firstly, our website can detect users' operating system settings color mode, and based on that, it will automatically adapt color mode. Secondly, user can choose any specific color mode and we will save users' preferences within our local storage so that next time when they visit our website, we'll automatically set our website's color mode based on the color theme that users had chose last time. Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. As you can see, this is the HTML file and this is my CSS file. Now let's change the title. For the title, I'm giving change website's color scheme based on user's way of setting, or we can give it toggle light dark mode. Let's check out result with the help of live server extension. In your browser, you can see you'll be able to get that beautiful custom HTML list element with beautiful animation. And all these codes, they were taken from the last week's video. If you want to go along with me, you can check out that video. Video's link will be even in the description below or at top right corner. You can check out that I button. Now let me show you with just one line of HTML code how can you change your light theme into dark theme. So just above the title tag, let's create meta tag. For the name attribute, I am giving color scheme. And for the content, if I give dark, now you can see that vertical scroll bar change into dark, but we are unable to change our light theme. It's because with the help of CSS code, we have given their different color for our background text. So because of that, we are unable to convert our light theme into dark theme. So let's comment out these color variables. Now did you see that in your browser you can get that dark theme, and that was done with the help of just one line of HTML code. For that content, instead of dark, you can give light, that will change into light theme, or you can give both light as well as dark. But the problem with this approach is that there isn't any more options. Like if you want to give custom colors, then you won't be able to do that. And this color scheme, it behaves differently in different browsers. Let me show you. What if I open the same file in our Firefox? Now you can make your own comparison. Did you see that? In your left side, that is the Firefox browser, and on the right hand side, this is Brave browser. So you can clearly see the difference. So yeah, it behaves differently in different browsers. If you don't want to give any custom colors, backgrounds, then with just one line of HTML code, you can achieve that. So now I just want to comment out that code. In our installed CSS file, as you can see within our root user class, I have declared different color variables, and all those color variables, they are used for different backgrounds, for our text color, and also in the last week's video, I have shown you the dark theme for our custom HTML UI design. So you can just uncomment these codes. So as you can see, this was our dark theme, but I want to change that primary color to a bit lighter version of that blue color. And also for the secondary as well, let's get a bit lighter version. Okay, this is perfect. So now with the help of that CSS color variables, you don't need to go through each elements and change all the colors value. So this CSS variable is pretty powerful. Now for the root user class or any root element, if you give CSS color scheme property to dark, first of all, let's comment out these CSS color variables. And in your browser, do you see that? Now you will be able to get that dark color scheme. And also just a moment ago, I have shown you how can you achieve same thing with the help of HTML code as well. So I have already explained you how it works and how it behaves based on different browsers. And same thing, you can give dark as well as light value for that color scheme, or you can use both of them. Now let's uncomment this CSS color value that will give you the light theme. Let's talk about how can you detect your operating system's color theme, and based on that color theme, how can you change your website color theme. For that, if I write at media and within that small bracket, let's write prefers color scheme. Let's give color scheme to dark. So now with the help of this code, you will be able to detect your operating system setting. So if it is in dark mode, then within that curly bracket, you can execute further code. So for that, let's give the CSS color variables that I have prepared for my dark theme. So you can just cut this code, and for our root user class, you can just paste that dark theme CSS color values. Let's uncomment that code. In your browser, did you see that? Now you will be able to get that dark theme. So why is that? It's because my operating system's color theme that is in dark. So based on that mode, it automatically detects our operating system settings, and you can see that it automatically updates our website's color. So now if it is in dark mode, then it will give you the dark color. Let me show you the setting. So what if I change it to light theme? Did you see that? It will automatically detect your operating system settings, and based on that it will automatically change your dark mode to light mode and vice versa. If your operating system's color theme it is in dark mode or light mode, that doesn't mean you prefer dark mode and vice versa. So in our website, for users we need to give options with the help of which they can choose any specific mode based on their preference. So for that, in our index.html file, let's create div with class name color mode button, and now let's style this div with class name color mode button. I'm giving width and height of 3 rem. For the background color, let's give that same secondary CSS color variable. As you can see, based on our light theme and dark theme, I have given different color value for our secondary CSS variable. I want to make it circular shape. For that, let's give border radius of 50%. And let's give some box shadow. For X offset, I'm giving 0. For Y offset, 0.2 rem. For the blur value, let's give 0.6 rem. And for the color, let's give this black color with some transparent value. And also I'm giving cursor to pointer so that when you take your mouse near to that circular shape, you will be able to get that pointing hand icon. Now let's take it to top right corner. For that, I'm giving top and right to 1 rem. Similarly, for our class color mode button, let's give the before pseudo element. For the before pseudo element, let's give the content. For the content, within single quote or double quote, you can give their Unicode. In order to give Unicode, first of all, you need to use their backward slash 263D. With the help of that code, you will be able to get moon icon. But in this video, I'm just using 2 icons. So for that, I'm not going to use any different icon library. Okay, I want to make its text color dynamic as well. So for that, for the color, let's give that CSS variable text. As you can see, again, based on our color mode, we are giving different color for that text CSS variable. And also let's change the font size. I'm giving 1.6 rem, and with the help of that text align to center, I'm taking it to horizontally center, and in order to make it vertically center, I can give line height, and for the value let's give 3 rem. So that 3 rem, that is the same value that I had given for our height. So it's a kind of trick with the help of which you can bring your text vertically center. Now I want to rotate it. Okay, so for our before pseudo element, let's give the transform. If I give rotate minus 220 degree, in your browser you can't see any changes. It's because before pseudo elements, they behave as inline element. So let's change it to inline block element. For that, I'm giving display to inline block. Now did you see that? You are able to rotate it. I think I want a bit bigger version. So let's give it scale. I'm giving 1.6. I think it's a bit big. Let's change that font size to 1.5 rem. Okay, this is perfect for me. So this is the icon that I am giving with the help of that Unicode 263D. If I give 263C, you will be able to get that sun icon. So based on our theme, you need to change that icon as well. So now when you click that button, you have to change your light theme into dark theme and vice versa. I mean, you need to be able to toggle it. So for that, for our root pseudo class, when you give class dark theme, be careful there isn't any kind of white space. Just after that root pseudo class, give their class dark theme. So whenever you are giving class dark theme for our root pseudo class, we'll give our darker version of color, and when you remove that, we'll give our light version of our color. And later on, that all will be done with the help of JavaScript code. But for now, a root pseudo element, that means the HTML tag. So for our HTML tag, if I give class dark theme, okay, there isn't any changes. Oh, it's because in our started CSS file, you can see we are detecting our operating system setting. So because of that, there is conflict between our code. So let's comment it out. In your browser, did you see that? Now you will be able to change your light theme into dark theme based on that class dark theme. But when you are changing into dark theme, you need to be able to change that icon as well, something into sun icon. For that, again, we can take the help of this same code, and based on that class, we need to change our before pseudo elements content value. So just down below, whenever you are giving class dark theme for our pseudo element, at that time, for the before pseudo element that we have given for our color mode button, let's change that content property to something into 26.3c. In your browser, did you see that? Now you will be able to get that sun icon whenever you are into dark mode. So just keep it in mind that in our JavaScript code, we are going to use that class dark theme frequently. Based on that class, we are going to change everything. So now when you hover the color mode button at that time, I'm giving filter. Let's give brightness. I'm giving 150%. For the contrast, let's give 90%. Now in your browser, you can see when you hover, you'll be able to get a bit lighter version. You need to be able to add and remove that class dark theme for our root element, something like this. Let's take our browser to the full screen and let's create JavaScript file. I'm creating a script.js file. Just before the end of body tag, you can give the link for our JavaScript file, or within your head tag, you can give script tag, differ attribute. It is compulsory. And now for the source, let's give script.js. So be careful that differ attribute, this is necessary if you are giving that script tag within your head tag. Now in our script.js file, we need to select this div with class name color mode button. I'm just giving different comments so that it is easy to maintain the code. Now within that selectors comment, let's create the constant variable color mode button. And I'm assigning document.querySelector. So we are selecting the div with class name color mode button. That color mode button that represents the circular button. So now when you click that button, we need to perform some operations. So for that, within our event comment, let's give the event for our color mode button. So I'm writing dot add event listener. So we are listening to the click event, and for the second parameter, you can just use function or you can use arrow function as callback. And now within that callback, in order to change that light theme into dark theme, in our styled CSS file, as you can see, for our root pseudo element, whenever you are giving class dark mode, based on that class, you will be able to change into dark theme to light theme and vice versa. First of all, let's select that root pseudo class. I'm just using their comma so that I don't have to write that constant keyword multiple times. Let's create the variable name root, and I'm assigning document.querySelector. Now we are selecting the root pseudo class. As soon as when you click that color mode button for our root element, you can add and remove that class dark theme. For that, I'm writing dot class list dot toggle. So now with the help of this toggle method, you will be able to add and remove any specific class. So in our case, let's give that class name dark theme. So now for our root element, we will add and remove that class dark theme. Now in your browser, did you see that when you click that button, you will be able to add and remove that light theme. Just a moment ago, when we were talking about the CSS code, at that time, I have shown you how to detect your operating system's color theme settings. So this was the code. So now with the help of JavaScript code as well, we need to detect our operating system setting. So for that, let's create variable name OS theme. And I'm assigning window.matchMedia, or you can just remove that window, it will work. Okay. And now with the help of that matchMedia method, you will be able to detect, and you can give their single quote or double quote. And within that, in our styled CSS file, you can copy that prefers color scheme code and just paste it there. So now with the help of this code, we are detecting whether our OS system setting that is in dark mode or not. And based on that color mode, we need to change our color theme as well. For that, first of all, let's create function name handle color theme. You can just duplicate that code and bring it up there. So now for the root element, you need to able to add or remove that class dark theme based on the condition. So for the second parameter, you can pass their boolean value, and based on that boolean value, you will be able to add or remove that class dark theme for our root element. So now along with that handle color theme function, let's pass the argument condition, and let's take that same argument. Instead of that boolean value, you can give that condition. Let's call that function name handle color theme. As you can see, it takes the argument condition. So now we need to pass some condition within that function. So you can take the help of that variable name OS theme. And if I write dot matches, now with the help of this code, you will be able to check whether that matches with our operating system setting or not. But as you can see, I have done some mistake there. If we had used their comma, it's okay, but I have given their semicolon. So once again, you need to use their keyword constant, let, anything, whatever you want to give, but I'm giving their constant. And now with the help of that dot matches, it will help you to detect or check whether the color preferred scheme that we have gave dark, whether that matches with our operating system's color setting or not. So if it matches, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So as you can see, we have passed as condition. So based on that condition, now we'll be able to add and remove that class dark theme for our root element. So that's what exactly going on there. Once again, in our browser, you will be able to toggle your light mode to dark mode. And also if I refresh my browser, you will be able to get that dark mode because our operating system setting it is in dark mode. So let me show you in the setting. So now what if I change it to light theme? You can see you won't be able to change it immediately, but if I once again refresh my browser, you will be able to get that light theme. So how do we achieve that live update? So for that, once again we need to add some event. You can take that same variable name OS theme, and I'm writing there dot add event listener. We are listening to the change event. And for the second parameter, I'm giving arrow function as callback. With the help of that change event, now you will be able to detect OS system settings changes immediately. Now within that callback, you can give this same code, you can just copy and paste it there. So once again, when there is any changes, we are immediately calling that function name handle color theme. We are passing there just boolean value. That means if our system it matches with our dark theme, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. And also instead of that variable name OS theme, you can pass e with that callback, and you can give there e dot matches, but it might be difficult to understand, so leave it as it was before. Now once again, what if I change my operating system's color mode to light mode? Now you can see when you change your OS system settings mode into dark mode or light mode, based on that mode it will automatically detect your setting, and accordingly you can see live update. But again, I want to give a bit different feature, something like when the user is visiting your website for the first time, at the time we will detect our user's operating system setting, and based on that setting we will give the color theme. But once when users choose any specific color theme from our website, then we will save the user's preferences within our browser. For that, you can take the help of cookie. So if I go to our developer tool, you can go to this application tab. Within there you can see their local storage. As you can see in our local storage, you can save our data as key value pairs. So now as soon as when you click that color mode button, you can give something like local storage dot set item. So now for the key, let's give any specific name. I'm giving theme. And for the value, first of all, let's create the constant variable name theme, and I'm assigning. You can take this same code and paste it down there. Now for the root element, you can give their contents method. And now with the help of that method, you will be able to check whether that root element does it contains any class name dark theme or not. If it contains, it will return true, otherwise false. So based on that condition, let's give the ternary operator. If that condition is true, then we'll return dark, otherwise we'll return light. And now that value will be stored within our theme variable, and for our local storage, you can give the same theme variable as value. In your browser, did you see that? As soon as when you click that button, you will be able to set the key as well as value, and based on your theme, you can see you will be able to change that value to light as well as dark. So this is exactly what we want. Now we have stored the data within our local storage, but still based on that data, we are not changing our color theme. Okay, so for that you can use their comma, and let's create another constant variable current theme, and I'm assigning local storage dot get item, and we are getting the key name theme from our local storage. So as you can see, when we're clicking that color mode button, at that time we have set our key, that was the theme, within our local storage. So now we can get the same value. So if we have set the current theme, then immediately we'll get that value, otherwise there won't be any value. So based on that current theme, you can use the ternary operator, and if we have set the theme, then we'll call the function name handle color theme, and within that we need to pass the condition current theme is equal to dark. So be careful, I'm using their double equal to, that is the comparison operator. So if our current theme that is dark, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So we are passing that boolean value along with that handle color theme, and based on that you will be able to change your color theme. Otherwise you can call that same function along with different condition. Instead of that ternary operator, I think it is a bit difficult to read. Instead of that, let's use the normal if else condition. So let's give if we have set our current theme, then we'll call that that function name handle color theme, where we have detect our current theme from our local storage. Else, let's call this same function name, but within that function we have detect our operating system's color theme or color mode, and based on that we'll change our website's color theme. So you can just bring that function within our else statement. In our browser, you can see you will be able to get that light theme. It's because in our local storage we have stored their theme as light, so because of that we are getting that light theme. But what if I remove that data? So now we are not setting any kind of current theme for our website. So right now user is not choosing any kind of theme. So at that time, if I refresh, did you see that you will get that dark theme? Why? It's because in our operating system we have given setting to dark mode. So what if I change our setting to light theme? You can see immediately you will be able to get that changes within your websites as well. But once again, let's change that dark theme to light theme, and in your local storage you can see we have stored the data theme to light theme. But in our operating system settings, if we change it to dark theme, immediately you can see there are changes in our color theme, but still in our local storage we have saved the data that our theme is in light mode. So if we have already set the current theme, then we need to prevent that live update from our operating system setting. So in order to prevent that, as soon as when there is any changes in our operating system's color theme, within that callback you can take the help of that variable named current theme. And again we are taking the same approach that we have took just a moment ago. So again, within that callback, I'm giving the current theme, and this time, just before that, let's give exclamatory sign. So it means if we are not setting any current theme, then I'm using their AND operator. So this is what's called short circuiting. So if and only if our condition is true, then that AND operator will help you to execute that right hand side code. Otherwise, that code won't be executed. So once again, if I change my OS system's color theme to light theme or dark theme, you won't be able to change that website's color theme. It's because we have already set our website's color theme to light. So because of that, you won't be able to change that color theme, okay? But if I clear that data, now once again, if you change your operating system setting, then you will be able to change our website's color theme. So again, let me make it clear. For the first time, when the user visit your website, at that time, we will detect their operating system's color theme, and based on that color theme, we will change our website's color. But user chose any specific color mode from our website, we'll save data within our local storage, and based on that data, we'll change our website's color theme. But in order to save some data in your browser or by using cookie, you need to take the user's consent. So that is what you called cookie consent. So we need to take the consent from the user, but this data was stored for our light theme and dark theme, so it's not necessary. But if you are giving any kind of advertisement, if you are using different analytics, different social media marketing, then you need to take the permission. So in next video, I'll show you how can you take the permission from users, or I'll show you how can you take that cookie consent from your user. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.